Hello and welcome to AMAtv, hosted by Greg's Garage. I'm Greg, and on AMAtv, we like to keep you up to date on what's happening with the American Motorcyclist Association. Now this go around, we're going to be talking MotoAmerica, the newly formed AMA-sanctioned professional road race series here in the United States. Now the group is led by three-time 500 GP champ Wayne Rainey and has been on the gas working on schedule, TV deals, infrastructure, marketing, and of course the technical rules package. Now, just a few days ago, those rules were released. Now, I'm taking an overall above perspective on the rules outline. So let me start out with the classes that'll be run, all right? Now, in the rules, there's no mention of the KTM 390 Cup, but we know it exists. KTM RC 390s, 14 to 22 years old. That'll be that class. So, the classes outlined in the tech specs: 1000cc Superbike, Superstock 1000, Supersport 600, and the less tech spec Superstock 600. The class structure is designed to do two things. The first, develop riders here in the US. So a 14-year-old racer can start out on KTM and then move, say, into the more affordable Superstock 600 class, learn, and then move into the more technically advanced Supersport 600 class. Then, and this is the key, allow riders and teams to dip their feet into the Superbike fold with a Superstock 1000 machine that runs in the same race as the Superbikes, but is not allowed as many mods, keeping costs down, and having young talent like Jake Gagne, Dane Westby, and Jake Lewis stepping into Superstock. It gives them auditions for teams looking to find racers to step up into Superbike. Now, the second great thing about this structure is creating world champions. The alignment with World Superbike Series, with specific classes and specs, it looks a lot like World Superbike. And it'll be easy for those in Europe to gauge our talent, especially when they come to race in the US, where MotoAmerica supports the WSBK series. Prove yourself on the machines that they see all year round, and now you're part of the conversation. So over time, we should see more Americans move to the world stage and maybe into MotoGP, or maybe straight jump into MotoGP. Now on to some things in the technical specs that caught my eye. One is for the fans. Now this move is to distinguish number plates. For instance, Superstock 600, they run red backing with yellow numbers, where Superbike runs your traditional white backing with black numbers. So it's easy for anyone to ID what bike is in which class. And when the Superbike and Superstock 1000s are on the track at the same time, fans and commentators can see what's what. The other thing that comes into clear view is the all-important electronics. MotoAmerica had some real challenges on their hands. With 2014 rules for electronics so different from World Superbike, both in the Superbike and 600s, the question is, how do you not kill a team's budget by making sweeping first-year changes? Answer: allow the 2014 electronics to run for 15 and perhaps the next year. But the tech specs also point to affordable electronic equipment and 3 available factory software updates, meaning if you buy, say, a Yamaha R1, and you have the option to purchase the exact same electronic hardware package that the factory runs for €8,000 or around 10 grand or so. And it's mandated in the rules that the factory team will supply 3 software updates to everyone who runs the R1, developed by the factory, free of charge. This helps to keep the manpower cost balanced. Interesting. Since electronics are a big deal, that is a big deal. Those updates are scheduled basically one before the start of the season, one in the middle, and one right after the final race of the year. Another thing that caught my eye, for the 600s, Kawasaki no longer sells the ZX6R in the US like they do in Europe. They sell the ZX6R 636, and the rules allow for the US homologated 636 to compete. But the overall theme of the entire tech package is balance. Balance of competition. So if someone should have a specific advantage, rules are in place to level the playing field during the season. And finally, on the homologation thing, the list hasn't come out yet on what's homologated, but expect to see Aprilia back in the 1000cc fold with a competitive bike, Superstock most likely. Oh, and the tech specs talk about Super Pole. No overall rule book yet, but Super Pole in the US on a regular basis, that is cool to me. All right, I've said enough. I got to get out of here. Remember, the AMA exists to protect your freedom to ride and race. So help us help you. Join now at AmericanMotorcyclist.com or call 1-800-262-5646. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on AMAtv.